Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to paint laminate furniture. This is a thrift piece of furniture that I got off Facebook Marketplace. I had originally painted this piece white, but I did it totally incorrect. So that's why you can see some of the paint has started to chip at the top. And now I'm going to be redoing it the correct way. So to get started, I removed all the hardware and the screws from the dresser. And actually, I didn't mention that, by the way, but this is a thrifted dresser, but I use it as a sideboard for my dining room. And it houses all of my serving items like cake stands, serving plates, extra tablecloths, party supplies, and stuff like that. The screws and hardware I actually end up placing in a plastic bag so I don't lose any of the pieces. I usually clean my surfaces before painting, so I'm doing the same thing with this laminate dresser. I'm using something called crud cutter. I actually love the way it works, so I'm using it on this dresser. As I mentioned before, I did not paint this dresser the correct way when I first painted it, and that's why I'm doing like this makeover. I used paint that was water-based paint without any primer, and you'll see in the next part that some parts started to peel when I cleaned it. I'm putting a drop cloth down because I'm going to be stripping the top of this dresser. I'm going to be using a stripping varnish called Citrus Strip. I do not recommend Citrus Strip on pieces that have a lot of grooves. I actually did this on a vintage piece of furniture before and it was a freaking nightmare, so do not do it. But if you have a flat surface and flat drawer fronts like I do, I definitely recommend it. So with the citrus strip, all you do is apply it with a brush. I actually recommend using a real brush, not a foam brush. I had used a foam brush and it kind of fell apart on me after a while. Once there's a nice even layer on the surface, you let it sit for a few minutes. I only had a couple of layers of paint on the top of this dresser, so it started activating pretty quickly. So you'll notice that it starts to wrinkle up or bubble up when it's ready to be scraped off. And I'm using a plastic scraper from the dollar store for this part. Another note about the citrus strip is that you don't want it to dry out on you because it will get harder to get it off. It should remove pretty easily like I'm showing in this video. I feel like citrus strip is sort of a learning curve. I had used it a couple times myself and this was the first time where it was not a headache. After it was all off, I used crud cutter again to clean off the residue. I first used paper towels and then threw away any leftover goo that was on the surface. Then I went in again with crud cutter and a sponge to make sure everything was gone completely. And also a note, be sure to wear gloves when using any of these chemicals. I used citrus strip again for any of the drawers that were peeling also, and I followed the same steps as I did with the top of the dresser. If this is an example of what happens when you use a water-based paint on a laminate piece of furniture, the paint eventually you can just peel it right off. So it's literally just coming off. So this is why you don't want to use a water-based paint. And here's just a quick look at how the dresser is looking so far. Before I prime, I took the drawers out so I could also prime the trim of the dresser. So I ended up interchanging the drawers off and on so I could prime the whole dresser and then the drawers. I also took the doors off as well, along with the hinges, and the middle drawers that you see in there, they actually don't come out. So I ended up using this color stain that I had used before on my stairs. This is an oil-based primer, and this is one of the things I wish I had known before painting laminate furniture. Somehow I found some information that you can use oil-based primer in order to paint laminate furniture. It did work, but it just took a long time to dry. So I found that like drying it overnight actually cured it really well. But I wish I would have known that you're supposed to use shellac-based primer. I'm not sure how much more better it works or anything like that, but I wish I had known that before starting this project. I'm also kind of thinking like, even if I did know it, I might have still tried the oil-based primer just because I already had it. It did end up working out, but after doing like more research afterwards, you know, you just find different things and you learn different things. So that's that. I'm using a 4-inch foam roller brush in a tray to apply the primer to the top of the surface. Another thing I wish I had known, or I wish I had done differently, was apply the primer to the short length of the dresser top instead of the long way. And I also wish I had known to use lighter pressure. After the first coat, I did notice some uneven strokes and I was trying to get rid of it, but it was like kind of hard to. It's hard to notice it in the end, but when you look really close, you can kind of see the subtle difference. I ended up doing 2 coats of primer. I let the first coat dry for about a half an hour, and then when I applied the second coat, I just let it all dry overnight. It is day 2 and I'm ready to get started with painting. I'm using urethane alkyd enamel paint by Behr. I love using Behr paint because I can just go right to Home Depot and pick it up. The color I'm using is simply called black. I'm using a small angled brush and a foam roller brush to apply the black paint. I'm painting the trim of the dresser first as I found it easier from experience to do that and then go back and do the larger parts. This black paint is in a satin finish. And you guys may know from me painting other cabinets and dressers on my channel that I really love using the satin finish. It just has a really smooth sheen that's not overpowering, but also not underwhelming. So another thing I wish I had known about painting laminate furniture is where to buy mineral paint quickly. I had noticed some people using mineral paints for their laminate pieces, but I couldn't find them quickly enough in my area. And I also couldn't find it on Amazon. That's another reason why I ended up going to Home Depot. I did stop into Sherwin-Williams as well, but the paint was really overpriced in my opinion, and I'm more familiar with the ordering process of Home Depot, so I just felt more comfortable going there for the urethane alkyd enamel paint that I got. And the paint was really good in my opinion. I liked that it went on really smooth. It had really good qualities, which you need when painting laminate furniture. It also had good adhesion, good drying time, so it didn't take too long to dry in between coats. I also read that it had good leveling qualities as well, and I noticed that when I was painting. So basically, in order to get like a smoother finish, leveling is important. And I like that it had really good durability. It's supposed to dry harder than the acrylic enamel, and I guess I'll just see that with time since I just painted this. But another major plus was that it did not have a harsh smell. This is one of those trial and error things that I always talk about when doing DIY projects. So finding the right paints for certain projects, but also I think it comes down to your preference in the end. To paint the drawers, I first used the brush to get into the grooves of everything, and then I followed up with the foam roller to smooth everything out. I did this for all the drawers. The main item was the foam roller because that was basically the magic key to making sure everything was smooth. While the first 2 drawers were drying with their first coat, I went ahead and added a second coat to the top of the dresser, aka my sideboard. I knew I wanted to add multiple coats to the top, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to do so before moving on to the other drawers. And here I am adding the dresser drawers back in. As I mentioned before, it was easier to paint the trim by removing the drawers first and then just go ahead and put the drawers back in to paint the drawers. So for the second coat of painting the drawers, I did the same method of using the brush to go around the trim and edges, and then I used the foam roller brush to make sure everything was nice and smooth. I ended up doing the front doors to the furniture piece last. It was just easier for me to keep everything more organized and clean to do it this way, especially since I was just doing it in my kitchen slash dining room. To prime them, I wanted to make sure I got into the groove, so I did use a Wooster brush first. Then I went in with the foam roller to smooth everything out. I did this for both of the doors, and this made sure that even the primer was smooth. This is plastic wood filler. I ended up switching out the knobs on the doors, so I had to use plastic wood filler to fill one of the holes on each door. All I did was squeeze it into the holes I wanted closed up, and then I let it dry overnight. So it is the next day and I let the plastic wood where I filled the holes in dry completely. So now I'm going to take this 60 grit sanding block and sand it. I sanded until everything was smooth. All right. And now I'm going to take the tack cloth and wipe it off. I used the tack cloth to capture any dust that came from the sanding. So here I am painting the doors to the sideboard. I used the brush first to get into the grooves, and then I followed up with the foam roller brush. This method has helped me the whole time I was painting, and that was one of the other lessons I learned as I was painting, that the brush method on first and then following up with the foam roller brush actually worked really well. Can you see me? So I actually did not put these bumpers on the last time, and I want to make sure I put them on this time just so it slams a little softer onto the other part of the cabinet. So I'm just gonna put those on first. So if you looked really close, you can see that there was like a gap in between the back panel of the sideboard, and I didn't like that, so I ended up using my brad nailer to basically like close it. You can see me here closing it up with the brad nailer. I felt like that was like the best option. I have to admit, I thought adding on legs to this dresser was going to be super easy and simple. I basically unscrewed where there were placement holders for feet and replaced it with some legs I had bought off Amazon, but it did not work out at all. I think one of the parts were a little older, so like one of them kept coming out, and that's basically super dangerous. So I ended up taking them off. I am going to figure out how to put on different feet. The ones I originally found, those just didn't work. But yeah, that was one of the project fails. But I wanted to show it just to show you guys exactly what I go through behind the scenes. So you'll see that the legs are still on it in this view of the footage, but I ended up taking them off because I didn't realize that they didn't work until I lifted the dresser up. So anyway, while the dresser was down, I did end up painting the bottom. I just couldn't get into some of those small areas, like the real bottom part of the trim, because it was basically touching the drop cloth. So I waited until I had enough room to paint and not get any extra paint on the drop cloth or floor. And these are the handles that I ended up switching to. They're way more modern than the other ones that were on the dresser originally. So I did choose these because of like the sleek design. And here's just a quick reminder of what the dresser slash sideboard looked like before. It had a lot of chips on the top and the paint was not smooth as it should have been. And here's what the sideboard looks like now. It looks so modern. The black paint really made it look like a whole new piece of furniture. I personally love the new modern handles and of course the B knobs for the front doors. This project taught me so much about painting furniture, and I'm really excited to continue the dining room makeover and also paint more furniture in the future. If you guys want to follow along the rest of my DIY journey, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I post new videos. So comment down below if you plan on tackling your own furniture piece, and I'll see you guys in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.